Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here we go, Richmond Raceway, Henrico County, Virginia, the Commonwealth, the capital city. We are ready to go racing here at the Action Track, or a track formerly known as the Action Track, however you want to look at it, after recent races here at Richmond. But we are ready to go for 160 laps of racing here tonight at the Richmond Raceway. I am the captain. We welcome you in on this Monday night as practice going on right now, and going to be ending here soon. We're going to have a longer practice because I actually had something I had to take care of tonight, and thankfully it ended early, and we're here on time. We're ready to rock and roll here from this 3/4 mile oval. So I'm the captain. We appreciate you joining us here on this Monday evening. It is the Sim500 NC811.org Cup Series. Now, Kevin England is not here tonight. Kevin is actually out on assignment. He is taking care of some things personally himself. So Kevin hopefully will be back next week when we go racing at Michigan, I believe is where the next race is on the schedule as we follow the Cup schedule. But before we get to tonight, let's go back to 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago, we raced at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in the 811 Grand National Series. And we saw potentially one of the wildest races and finishes in recent history here on the Captain Esports Network, and probably in Sim500. We had not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, actually 6 cars finish within 7/100ths of a second, with Scott Simley scoring the win. I showed the points after the race, and because it was the final race of the regular season, but there were a couple of technical issues involved in the points, and there's actually going to be a penalty announced, I think, in the near future. However, with that said, I did get the updated point standings, and you're going to notice one pretty big change in the points when I show it to you right now. And this is the grid for the Grand National points for next Sunday when they go racing at New Hampshire. You'll notice down at the bottom, Brian Wortman is in. That is because there were drops actually put into the point standings before when I showed those standings. And what I mean by drops is some leagues have what they call drop races, where you can drop your 1 or 2 worst finishes, so on and so forth. This league, they don't have the drops, basically, when it comes to the Grand National side. So this is the straight up where everybody is with the 20 races involved into the playoffs when it's all, or into the regular season when it's all said and done. So this is how it lines up. Brian Wortman is actually in. Ron Holyfield is actually the one who fell out of the playoffs last night. So I wanted to definitely show that, but that's where we're going to see each other next week in New Hampshire. And you can see already Mohica with a pretty big lead as we start the round of 16 next week. So, all right, as we put the candle on top of that cake and move on to this week, let's take a look at the Sim500 points. Now here we don't have to worry about the playoffs for a few more weeks. We still got plenty of racing to go. Race number 20 is here tonight. And qualifying is actually about to start, so we'll come back and talk about the points here to Sir Joey cue the mic and say, hey, we're going qualifying here. So let's go get ready for that. As The cars will get on track. Track's going to clean off. There was a lot of rubber laid down just now in practice, so all right, first one to be on track is going to be Eric Arnold. Hello, Mr. Burrito. Good to see you, sir. In the number 31, and just like that, he is actually going to reset it. Looks like he didn't like his exit apparently off pit road or got penalized or something. So let's go to the boss man, Joey Jattina in the 14 car in the Chesterton Ford Mustang. Actually, you still see the rubber there laid down going into turn 1. You want to wrap that yellow line as much as you can. Been told these cars are getting pretty snappy loose. Actually, to be honest with you, Friday, to a point, I kind of forgot about the race. But at the same time, I did not get home until about 10 o'clock that night. And I had another broadcast I still had to make up. So I didn't race, to be honest with you. And I've got another league starting up here soon that I was going to race until it started. So you probably won't see me much on Fridays here soon. As Pedro Mojica right now on the pole, 20.2280. Jattina going to cross the line. He's P2, 22.90 there on his second lap. Mojica crosses the line to a 79. So Jattina with actually a pretty good lap there in that car. Mike Montesi here in the 6. Looks like maybe he's going to save his fast lap for the second one there. Yeah, that's what I hear. Montesi brings it down into 3 and 4, and off of the corner here, this track, very low on grip, not much tire wear at all, as Montesi goes up to 11th as of right now. Kevin DeBrown decides to tow back. Let's check on Joe Hudson here. Joe, I made the joke here a second ago in chat when we were over down in Discord. I said to the guys, I'm like, are we calling Joe Hudson Verstappen now? Oh, he's out of control into the wall. I've been told that's another thing to watch tonight. When these cars get loose, apparently they're gone. There might not be much saving of a car tonight with one sideways. How about Scott Simley up to P2 after his win last night in Atlanta? So good lap for him. Tyler Dalton right now, P11. In this 19 car. And before I forget, I should mention our poll. Qualifying presented by 811. No, it's below. Call before you dig. Mike Kelly up to P7. Kevin Stone up to P8. Brian Macklin P9. There's Macklin in the 30 car. Macklin jumps up P6, 22.91, so good lap on his part. How about Derek Myers in the 39 car? As we got about a minute and a half still left in qualifying, so anything can happen. Myers is going to go up here and run the top groove here to get the run off. He kind of tagged the wall, though, a little bit, so I'm not sure how much that's going to help or hurt him. Let's see, though. It will not count his first lap because of the hitting of the wall. Goes through 1 and 2. Pretty solid. Looks like it kind of ran tight a little bit there. Purple. Could this be a pole lap for that Rhino Mustang? It's an interesting animal combination. Off turn 4. It's green, but not purple. So I got it. 22.78. Myers with a lap. Seth Foudy, after a great race last night, gone bad at the end. He is 14th right now, 22.93. Here's the Beasley man. 16th fastest right now for the 10 car. And Richard moves up to 15th, it looks like, in qualifying. So 22 cars have qualified out of 29, it looks like. about to take the grid. And I can tell Stony Benfield's not here because his people are not watching. All right, so let's step away for a quick second, and we'll come back, and we'll get you ready for the race here tonight from Richmond Raceway as you're watching the Sim500 Cup Series on the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, back we are. Cars are gridding as we get ready to start this race. And let's let the starting lineup roll across the top of the screen here. As you saw, Derek Meyer is going to be on the pole. Congratulations to him on winning the 811 Pole Award. Pedro Mojica going to start second. Scott Simley there in third. As the cars roll off, they'll get 2 pace laps here, and Derek Myers coming in saying it looks like his last race before he gets shipped right down the road from where I'm at for betting. $29 cars going to start this race. And our race information tonight, 160 laps around this track at 3/4 miles, 79 degrees, partly cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour winds, and track temp at about 128, so it's going to be slick, going to be hot, and going to be crazy here. As we get one to go this time by. Don't have any kind of split screen or something set up, but an idea today of something I've done before on a stream has come up, and I was like, hey, I kind of like the idea, and I've always been a fan of this, but Seth Valley has reached out, and well, if I get it to work, we have an onboard camera for him. So let me, he gave me the link, and thanks to Seth for sharing this with me, and as always, I'm always in support. If anybody wants to share their onboard to, yeah, there's Seth right there riding with us in the one car. He's got his mechanics wear gloves. We'll check in with him here in just a little bit as Pedro Mojica, Derek Myers lead him to the green flag. Here, race number 21 from the Richmond Raceway as we're green. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and in the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. One trend that we do need to keep an eye on, the last couple of races in this Cup Series have had some cautions. Let's see if tonight kind of goes different. Myers leads lap 1. You can hear the cars kind of sliding through the corner. Everybody going to be pretty much fourth gear around this track. As Mojica right there, 2/10 off from Scott Simley there third. Kevin Brown, Doy Woods. I see him fan out 2 and 3 wide. Joe Hudson there looking inside of the 14 of Joey Jattina. There's Mike Kelly and Robert Friery. Sorry, Rob. And a battle for the 9th position right there. And I said 160 laps, actually been shortened down to 140 laps, so let me correct myself on that one. For those who are like, wait, didn't you say 160? I did. So back here, I mentioned Seth Foudy in that one car with a onboard camera. This might be the ultimate broadcaster jinx right here, but the good news is we actually have, as I mentioned, a camera with him. See him rotating through 3 and 4. He's got the triple screens there. Looking, you can see the right side monitor. That looks out the right window. And trouble right in front of him. Robert Friery gets turned sideways and brings a caution out. The 77 car goes around. Let's see what happens to the 77. But yeah, if anybody ever has a camera when they're racing, they want to share it, I'm on board watching. Got ways of doing it. See what happens to the 77. It's going to happen up ahead. One car gets sideways. That's Montesi, I think. It is. Well, wow, there was 2 wrecks. Van Scheidt gets hit. And then you see Friery up there getting turned. Also, Doug Sigmund with damage. Well, there's 2 different wrecks in one here. And Robert just gets loose also. It's one of those things, and you see Kevin Stone's the one that got into him there. Unfortunately, this is one of those tracks where you can wait as long as you want to, basically, on the straightaway there, especially because it's a D-shaped oval, but you have to almost be a little ways onto that straightaway before you can get back full throttle. So, unfortunate break there as the caution comes out. And looks like some cars with damage more coming to pit road. You only get 3 sets of tires in the league. Caution out here for the first time. So the cool thing is I used to have it. I don't know if I might have deleted it because I never thought it would happen again. I think I might have deleted the old split screen that I had for when people did onboards. The good news is I can always make one. All right, coming back to the green. Derek Myers led every lap so far. Mojica there next to him. Scott Simley, Kevin DeBrown, Brian Macklin. Three wide mid-pack back here. Everybody sorts it out to 2, it looks like. Doug Roth scraping the wall there a little bit in that 43 is Hudson and Woods side by side. Mike Kelly looking inside a door there. Ooh, looks like Arnold maybe smoked the wall there a little bit in the 31. Nelson Rivera there outside of Foudy. And Tyler Dalton there in the 19, in the middle of the pack here behind Callan Tony and Wesley Donaldson. Everybody slowing about mid-90s to 100 mile an hour through the corners there. Turn 1 and 2 is very tricky. You almost got to be late getting back to the throttle. Let the car kind of roll through the corner and go straight off so you don't go sliding out into the outside wall. Where this corner, you almost want to aim directly at the wall because of the D-shaped formation of it. Of course, this track was redone back in 1988. It was originally a half-mile oval, regular shaped. And they decided to make it a D-shaped oval and enhance it by a quarter mile, making it 3/4 of a mile track. And it's been a favorite of a lot of people, but lately, a lot of people have been kind of critical of this track because of the, shall we say, lack of action. I think Denny Hamlin said it best yesterday in an interview. If you're a purist, you like this kind of racing. If you're one that enjoys the side-by-side exciting and wrecking and stuff like that, that's a different style that you're not really going to see at this track. As Josh Parker gets in the back of Foudy, nice save by the 1. Almost gets an EJ O'Rourke back here. They were 3 wide there through the front stretch. That almost was UGLY. There's Wesley there. Donaldson, that 91 car, the WBD diecast, or WB diecast, I should say. The D is part of the diecast. Or else it would be WBD iCast. "21 laps in the books here. And Derek Myers has led them all, but he has got Pedro Mojica all over his back. As a matter of fact, Mojica going to go topside to trying to get this lead. This track does have a second groove that can work. It's not preferred, but it can work. Let's go back here. Seth Foudy under attack right now, as he has Jeff Ryan, Charles Van Schuyck going by now. So Foudy, unfortunately, is going backwards here in this one car, all the way to 23rd right now. And Seth started up in the 14th position. Of course, Robert Fryer, the guy who's fallen the most so far in this race, as he has gone down 16 positions after the spin early in this race. Now, late Parker to get back to the throttle there as he's inside of Eric Arnold. And apparently Merry Christmas to Eric Arnold also. Battle up here for 6 as Mike Kelly gets past Joe Hudson. Move him up a spot as he trails Kevin DeBrown there. So that caution definitely played an interesting role here. I think this can simply be a one-stop race to the finish. Get to about lap 70, get off the tires that you're on, as I know tire fall off is going to be a pretty big deal here. I would not be surprised if later in this run you see cars going from 4th to 3rd. But right now, not seeing that so much. We are seeing Pedro Mojica hound the back of Derek Myers, number 39. Pedro doing a better job center off, it looks like, especially mid-corner. He's rolling through it better. Watch how Pedro gains a pretty good amount coming through the middle here. Well, Derek did a better job that time. Joey Woods letting Tyler Dalton go by. A battle for the 11th position there, so move Tyler up a spot. Track temp up to 130 degrees. Seeing pretty much the bottom lane be the dominant way around right now. Montesi, by the way, should mention he is a lap down there after being involved in that first caution of the day. And one thing I did want to mention today actually was the test session, one of 2 days of testing here at the track at Richmond at the Cup cars, the real life Cup cars. We're trying to test out a new splitter that apparently you gain a lot more downforce on, even in a pack. Trying to improve the racing that they got on short tracks, especially when they go to Martinsville later on this season and Phoenix for the finale. So I'm kind of curious to see how that test session went today. As you see Jatina putting pressure on the 15. Joe slides up the track for Joey. And Joey goes by. Mojica still pressuring Myers. Myers doing a great job of holding himself in right now. As we're 35 laps into this race. As we go back here to Eric Arnold, who continues his free fall. Unfortunately, has lost a couple spots now back to the 17th position as EJ O'Rourke is in the EJ line. Trying to get some grip up there in the top side. Nelson trying to get the run off. He does a good job there. And he just had to get out of the gas way too long. And unfortunately, EJ's going to go by. Unfortunately for Nelson, as Tommy Ryan comes there with him. Just no grip on top at all. One thing I'm catching here is that lap times are not really falling off. I mean, leaders are about 0.6 off the pace from 38 laps in. I mean, we saw yesterday, 38 laps in, I mean, you almost were screaming for tires. As Parker inside of Calantoni. Going to take the 9th position as Parker, as always, likes to start in the back and work his way up there through the field. Josh Parker last week became the first 4-time winner on the season. We had a 3-way tie for 3 wins with Mojica and Comstock. And Parker broke that tie, so now it's in the hands of Mojica and Comstock. But David, I should say, at Monster Energy number 13, not here tonight, so he'll be missing the race. And well, obviously, plenty of time this season to get to that 4th win. But the impressive part here is tonight's race number 21, and we've seen 11 different winners in those 21 races. And that goes from Brian Macklin back at Daytona all the way to Josh Parker last week. At the Pocono Raceway. All right, let's check. We tried to do this earlier and got a caution for it, so let's hope this doesn't happen again. Let's check our camera here. We were just talking about this a little bit. A camera that's been sent to us by Seth Foudy in the 21st position. There's Seth. Not sure if he was cooling his hand off or if he's got a brake thing over there, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, hold on, Seth. Hold on. A little loose there. Hope he's not listening to me as he's doing this. Was that a human behind Seth I just saw, or a dog? I couldn't tell. I just saw something move behind his chair. Oh, he almost ran over Beasley. That wouldn't have been good. So what I see a fan down there on the bottom. Looks like on the floor. So I think he's putting his right hand down there to just get some air maybe on his hand. I thought maybe he might be like turning because I know you can do the brake lever, front to rear brake or rear to front brake. All right, that whatever that is over there is moving again. I think that's a human. So 47 laps in. Appreciate Seth for sending us the camera to watch us ride on board with the 1 car tonight. So Meyer still leads. Mojica, Simley, and Macklin all within a second right now of the lead. So they're doing a good job just kind of hanging out here, one on top of another as they come up on Gerald Livingston. Good to see Gerald back here at the track. Has been having some health issues. And as a matter of fact, Gerald's going to come to the pit road there, but hope nothing but the best for the 93 there. Good to see him back at the track. As we ride with Mojica as they put a lap on the 11 around Holyfield. All right, we're going to step away for a quick second, come back, and get you ready for green flag pit stops potentially here in the Sim500 NC811.org Cup Series as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
.53 laps complete as we're back here at the Richmond Raceway, and you see there the separation between leader, second, third, and fourth, all right underneath a blanket. And you see Simley putting some pressure on one car up there. I think that's Holyfield back there giving up the position there. As he lets Mike Kelly go by, here's Joey Jatina. Josh Parker just continues to roll up through the field. So far, only the one caution early in this race. But everybody's kind of settled in. And I appreciate the viewers watching here tonight. If you're new to the channel, you can hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, you can, of course, always come back and share the word with other viewers. As here we go, battle for second. As Mojica under attack from Scott Simley. See if Simley can make the pass here for position. And it looks like he does. So Simley clears him for second. So great job by the 12. Brian Macklin trying to make a move for third. So Mojica falling back here. Something we don't see often. As we're about 12 laps away from the halfway point here at this Richmond Raceway. Everybody kind of spread out for the most part, just kind of logging laps here. As you see Calantoni putting a lap on Holyfield. Tommy Ryan there behind him. Derek Myers has led all 60 laps here so far in this race. You know, in this, while we are under green flag here, why don't we, let's turn it up. We have got ourselves a battle for the lead up front here. Scott Simley. I don't know what has awakened this 12 car all of a sudden here this week. But he now wants the lead of this race. As I mentioned, he won last night's Grand National race and now wants to take the Cup car to victory lane here. Is they going to put a lap on Doug Sigmund? It looks like maybe Simley almost gave the bumper to Myers there a little bit, as they had to yield to the lap car there as we watch that battle. Another battle back here with Parker and Kevin DeBrown. Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly. These guys battle. There are battles everywhere all of a sudden here. I think you're starting to see the comers and goers now as the tires are really falling off now. I think they've finally hit that cliff, and we're seeing almost a second and a half of fall off time now in these cars. You see track temp, the hottest it's been all night here at 132. And here comes Mike Kelly right at the halfway point. We are going to have green flag pit stops. If you look up at the track map on the screen, you'll see the 2-car faded out. That is because it's on pit road. So you can kind of see where everybody comes out. The leader right now is currently somewhere. There he is in turn 1, coming up on the back of Kevin Stone. It looks like you see the 39 car in orange. Right side tires going on the 2-car. Left sides, and there he goes. As Pedro Mojica comes to pit road, the first of the leaders. Mojica pulling the ever so rare moment last night. I think it's the first time in the 2 seasons now I've broadcasted for Sim500. I've said that Pedro Mojica self-spun early in that race last night in Atlanta. I guess I should know when that happened. It was going to be a weird night. As Mojica down and away. Good pit stop for him. As Foudy, Wesley Donaldson, Josh Parker on pit road. Eric Arnold going to come to pit road. This is a pretty tough pit road, by the way, to get on. You have to get down below the orange box in the middle of 3 and 4. So you have to slow down, basically, coming off the back straightaway to even give yourself a chance to get to it. So Tommy Ryan, Kevin DeBrown on pit road now. This is one of those tracks where you can kind of use a couple of little things and take advantage. As Tommy Ryan pulls away, good stop for him. Actually, a slower stop, 16-1. Kevin around 15-3. Doug Roth on pit road. As Mike Kelly turning 2304s right now. Leaders in the 2014s, the 20s. And while that was going on, by the way, I should mention Scott Simley has gotten a lead from Derek Myers. That happened during the pit stops here. A lot of things going on. And I'll try to track back in the replay here to get you the pass for the lead. But Simley obviously did a great job of saving those tires. Usually he's one of those long-run guys. I would not be surprised if Simley tries to pit here with the leaders whenever Myers comes to pit road and knowing that he's got a legit shot to win this race. All right, here's the pass real quick. Inside turn 4. Gets to run. Myers tries to turn in. Almost turned in a little too soon with that bobble. And Simley clears for the lead. Macklin right there with him. And caution is out now. Oh my gosh. And this is the reason why on a short track you do the long run. It's for Seth Foudy, who has gone around in the 1. And everybody who just came to pit road, unfortunately, just got trapped. Potentially a lap down. At lap 79, it is Seth Foudy in the 1. Let's see what happens. Comes off turn 4. Oh no! Just gets loose and has to fight the car, and it finally bites on the front and goes to the right. All right, let's jump to the front here. Leaders are in. We'll come back and see the replay again. And Simley going to win the race off pit road. However, Tyler Dalton, did he stay out here to lead a lap? I think he did, and he's going to come to pit road here. Well, I was going to say the orange cone's over in turn 4, which usually is, but it's actually at pit road entrance there, so a little different in iRacing. All right, so Scott Simley going to lead this race now. Let's talk to old Scotty here real quickly. All right there, Mr. Simley. You win yourself a race last night. All of a sudden, momentum is carrying on, huh?
Hey, maybe it's working.
Hey, I would say so too, man. Obviously, you've always shown ever since I've known you to be a long run guy. Obviously, it worked out for you there. The question is now, can you keep the lead?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it feels good. I was messing around with the brakes in practice, and I stumbled upon something I thought felt good and gave it a pretty good balance. So I had pretty even wear there. So I feel good. Hopefully I can hold him off. I see Macklin was coming before. I don't know what happened, if he got loose or sounded like he might have got loose or something, but he was gaining on me, 3/4 through that run there, but we'll see what we can do.
It's got artificial intelligence giving lap times in the background. Real quickly, I did notice the lap times for a while didn't fall off too much, and then after about the 60 lap mark, it seemed like they fell off a cliff.
Yeah, it did step off there a little bit. Not sure what that is. If that was a little bit of greasy from a little more rubber laid down, not sure. But
well, either way, man, it's working out for you. Sound like you're driving a Lexus out there at Daytona, but from the background noise. But you've got the leading car right now, so best of luck here. You got, let me do the math here real quickly. Was that 58 laps to go? So let's see if you can sweep the weekend or the week, whatever you want to call it.
We'll try. Thanks, buddy.
You too. Scott Simley there. Hey, good news. Just reading up here in chat while we got a quick minute. A shout out to Casey Duncan, who went in for total knee replacement surgery today. And apparently already got released from the hospital. I didn't think that was possible. But hey, it works out. Apparently going to be out for a while, obviously, in that 17 car. But good to see Casey up and going and out of the hospital. And that surgery went well. So, all right, coming back to green. 83 laps complete. Whole bunch of wave arounds. So it's not much of a pack going into turn 1. Outside lane, E.G. O'Rourke with a big-time start. So with that caution, 19 cars on the lead lap now. Brian in the last one.
I got a black flag somehow for
Derek Myers
during a wave around.
No caution as he saves it and keeps it off the wall.
Thank you.
All that track position and dominance, and that 39 car just went bye-bye over in turn 4. No caution as he kept it straight. Now he's got to keep his composure. Now he just goes around there off turn 4. Talked to a couple drivers today that say he did a great job keeping off the wall. Talked to a couple drivers today that said the first 5 laps on new tires, you feel like you were on ice skates. That was the direct quote. So Simley, E.J. O'Rourke now up to second. Brian Macklin, Anthony Calantoni up to 4th. Where's those Talking Giants boys? They're usually hanging out here tonight. Joey Jatina, P5. Charles Van Schaik, he was involved in the first caution tonight, is up to 6th. Tyler Dalton is now 7th. Tyler basically led a lap and then restarted 7th there, and then it's everybody who took the wave around. So Pedro Mojica, Josh Parker, actually I believe Mojica might have been the lucky dog. Parker, Kelly, Donaldson, Kevin DeBrown, Tommy Ryan, Derek Myers, Doy Woods, Nelson Rivera, Doug Roth, Brian Wortman, and Mike Montesi are your 19 lead lap cars now. We'll see 50 laps to go next time by. E.J. O'Rourke trying to get up there to the 12. Unfortunately, his teammate there putting pressure on him. As Brian Macklin finds himself up here in the front. O'Rourke under attack as Macklin tries to get him here. Ooh, EJ with a little bobble. Gives plenty of room to his teammate there. And I was going to say he's going to give the spot up, but he was more just kind of backing off the corner. And yeah, now he finally yields it to Macklin. As back here, we've got ourselves a hornet's nest of cars. Hey, Parker, Kelly, Donaldson, Kevin DeBrown there with him. Tommy Ryan. As the good news is we actually have ourselves a boom microphone that's been set up down at the Infield Care Center where Seth Foudy has been released. Seth, oops. Safe to say? Seth, you there, bud? Oh, I think we lost him there. Yeah, there you are. A little oopsies moment there. Nah, it's okay.
Dude, it's super slick, like you were saying. When you get them fresh tires on and you're running, the car kind of gets a little better as the run goes on, and then when you put those tires on, it just gets messy. So, I guess I just wasn't prepared for what was coming for the fresh ones, and I went into turn 1 and it just broke loose on me. So I tried to catch it and it threw me up into the wall. So it's just unfortunate. I'm glad nobody got collected in it for sure, but hopefully next week we'll come out and do a better job.
Well, hey, we appreciate obviously the camera that you offered up. We got a couple shots of you. I had to ask though, was that a human behind you or a dog?
Oh, that would probably be the dog, yeah.
We saw some movement. And I'm like, is that an arm or a dog? I can't tell.
Yeah, the kids get to running around too, so it's very well possible that they were doing that. So. But I think the dog's back there laying. Yeah, he's back there laying. So.
Well, a tough break there. Go
Nice
ahead.
thing about sim racing, you can take anybody with you.
Pretty
so.
much, yeah. Well, hey, man, tough break tonight, but good to see you're okay. Obviously, I mean, you're in a sim, so it's not like it really hurt. But good to see you're okay, and appreciate you putting the camera out there, and hopefully we'll see each other again next weekend.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Seth Foundy, unfortunately, out of the race, but of course, appreciate the couple camera looks he had there, and look forward to maybe seeing that again coming up next week. He's hanging out down there in the Turn 1 Heroes channel. As we watch this battle, I saw Derek Myers pretty much up there against the wall almost. Mike Kelly there in front of him. Tommy Ryan, Doy Woods, Kevin Brown all here, and look in front of them. There's Richard Beasley having a good run. I say that, and Beasley's in 25th, so I don't know if that's so much of a good run. Three wide. Look out, boys. Oh, they calmed it to 2, thankfully. I think Kelly finally yielded the position to... No, he didn't, actually. You got Myers still next to him there. He's kind of stuck behind Richard Beasley now. Tommy Ryan's going to go by. There's Myers. He's got Doy Woods there in his mirror. Gerald Livingston back on pit road. Oh, here we go. Montesi and Kelly, who unfortunately had a little argument last night after some stuff. They cooler heads prevailed. Tommy Ryan with a save. So Simley 0.2 of a second over Brian Macklin, who's got about a second to E.J. O'Rourke. Callan Tony still 4th, and look who's 5th. Joey Jattina, the boss man, making a good run here so far. Of course, the one thing that has been Joey's hindrance this season is his pit stops. And what I mean by that is Joey sometimes will forget to do something on pit road. If it's change his tires or add fuel or whatever. The good news here is without a yellow, he can go the rest of the way to the finish, so he doesn't have to worry about a pit stop. So now it's just not making a mistake. Joey running laps right now as fast as the leader, a 58 there to a 55 with Simley. So he is faster than the 2 cars in front of him. Myers has gone by Tommy Ryan back here for the 12th position. So we show that update. He's now putting pressure on Kevin Brown for 11th. Now Derek, on the other hand, is going to need a yellow for help. So next week is the Michigan Speedway, by the way, for 200 miles of racing next Monday night here on the Captain Esports Network, and in the week following, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Looking forward to that 200-mile race on the oval in the next-gen cars. That's one I've been waiting to call. That'll be on the 14th of August, of course, at 8:15 Eastern Time. Chicagoland, Kentucky, Daytona, and then the playoffs start the weekend after Labor Day at the Darlington Raceway. And, of course, we'll have the weekend off for Labor Day the week before. Here comes Anthony Calantoni. One of the best runs he's had outside of a super speedway. Battling for third here. Tries to diamond the corner with O'Rourke. Brings it back to the yellow line. See if he can get the grip off. He's going to take the spot away. Calantoni not playing games here tonight. Of course, he is up in the racing in Richmond here tonight, up near the Washington area. Of course, D.C., home of the Commanders. And, of course, those are big-time rivals of New York. So, of course, he has to kind of put the Big Blue Nation up there in this territory to represent. So, I'm sure he's going to be pretty excited about that. And I'm sure his podcast mates are going to be also. As Charles Van Schaik here in the 23 car running 6th in front of Tyler Dalton. Those guys been able to hold on strong. As Pedro Mojica's fallen almost 6 seconds back of Tyler. That caution definitely hurt those guys in the middle of the green flag pit stops. As Montesi has jumped to pit road. All right, let's get one last break in before we get to the end of this race. Let's step away and hear from 811 as you're watching Sim500 here on the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
25 laps to go. Back we are in the NC811.org Cup Series. Scott Simley looking to sweep Sunday and Monday. And not trying to disrespect Mr. Simley there. But I would say this is something you probably would not have expected if we got into Atlanta on Sunday and we're like, yeah, Simley might sweep this thing. Wouldn't have expected that, but as always in racing, you always expect the unexpected. He's got a 1.2 second lead over Brian Macklin, Calantoni third, E.J. O'Rourke, Joey Jatina, your top 5. And of course, the big move in this race was the caution that came out for Seth Foudy right in the middle, green flag pit stops. That caught drivers like Mojica and Parker and those guys who had pitted a lap down. They got their wave around back. You see Jatina go past O'Rourke for 4th. Van Schaik going to come with him, and Tyler Dalton there behind him. Ooh, Dalton sends in there pretty deep. Rolls the center pretty well. See if he can clear the 41. Looks like he will. So move Tyler Dalton up to the 7th position. There's Simley putting a lap on Brian Wertman. And again, if you did not get a chance to see the finish of that Grand National race last night, after this race, I suggest you go into my on-demand section and go find the Grand National race from Atlanta last night and just go watch the last 2 laps. I mean, the whole race entirely was crazy in itself with the wrecks and the cautions and stuff, but the finish itself, 6 cars within 7 1/100ths of a second. That was definitely one of the cooler finishes I've had a chance to call yet. Meanwhile, back here, we have a gaggle. Eric Arnold, Jeff Ryan, Derek Myers, Tommy Ryan, Doy Woods, Mike Kelly. And now 3 wide off 2. Derek Myers said, split you guys very much. And Derek about wiped out over in turn 3 and 4 just now. Great save on his part. As Myers back up to 12th, so you see now how much track position has really hurt that 39, especially after getting loose. He's going to need some help if he's going to get a chance to back up that pole award with a win, but I'm sure he's kicking himself right now after almost wrecking there off turn 4 early in this race. So Simley has now stretched it out almost 2 seconds. I talked about it before. Scott Simley is one of the best long-run drivers in this series. I know I always preach how Pedro Mojica can save some tires. Well, Scott gets himself into a rhythm, and he is able to just back up the corners and keep that right front on the car or the right rear, whatever the tire that's wearing the most. He does a good job of keeping that car under him. And he's shown it here tonight as he's led the last half of this race. Dalton continued to try to pressure Van Schaik for 5th, about 6.5 back from the leader. O'Rourke has fallen all the way back to 7th, and he has about 3.5 seconds or so back to Pedro Mojica. And let's go back to this because these guys are still putting up the fight here. Oh, Myers, hold on, he's loosened! Spinning into the wall hard. Keeps it straight, though, but that car's broke. Or is it? We stay green because it never spun out. I would thought that car would have been broke, but you know what? I think he hit rear end first. And didn't hit the tire flush. Oh, he is fighting that car. Oh, that's somebody else up the track I just saw? Yep, right there, Jeff Ryan. Oh, and now Doug Roth gets hit by Rivera. He saves it. The racing intense back here. Everybody trying to get what they can get out of their cars. Nine laps to go. Is Rivera going to go by Myers? Trying to look at that right rear to see if there was any kind of a broken toe link or something on it, but it's doing pretty well for a car that you would think would have one. He wouldn't be able to go this long, I would think. As Van Schaik and Dalton continue the battle, Jameson Campbell Sr. Hello, sir. Welcome in. Cheering on the Chuck Van Schaik there in that 23 car. Of course, their GOAT Racing sponsorship. 6 laps to go. There's Simley coming up on the back of Jeff Ryan. Simley entered this race 11th in points tonight, so obviously he's going to get a good kick up into the top 10 before this thing is over with. He can hold on tonight to be his 3rd top 5 and his 6th top 10 on the season. But Macklin has knocked the time down a little bit. It's under 2.5 seconds. But you know what? I'm noticing Macklin gained a lot there and then lost a lot coming out. So I wonder if Scott is maybe just kind of laying back in the corner here and then getting the drive off. 3 laps to go. Meanwhile, these guys just can't leave each other alone back here in this battle for the 11th position. 11th, 12th, 13th right here. And here comes Scott Simley. Off turn 4, he'll see the white flag. Final lap here from Richmond. A race that only is going to end up with 2 cautions tonight. So that's a great bounce back from what we've had the last couple weeks here in this Sim500 Cup Series. How about this stat for you? The 12 car is going to be the 12th different winner in the Cup Series this season as Scott Simley off turn 4 in winner at Richmond in a sweep of Sunday and Monday for Simley. Brian Macklin second, Anthony Calantoni third. Joey Jatina finishes 4th, and Charles Van Schaik, your top 5. How popular of a win this is, I am hearing at least 10 to 15 drivers so far say good win, Scott. So this just tells you how respected he is as a driver. And I'm pretty sure the Heinekens could be flowing in the Simley household here in a few moments. They say green cars have bad luck in racing, huh? Good burnout on his part. As we will let the finishing order run across the top of the screen. I would think he's going to be pretty excited about this one, huh? As let's get our 3rd place driver down here, or up here in the channel, and all of a sudden Mr. Calantoni becomes a force here. So, great run tonight, man. Finishing in the 3rd position up here in Washington country with that Giants car. That's got to feel pretty good for the old rivalry there, the NFC East. But either way, man, good 3rd place run tonight.
Yes, it does, Chris. It feels good. Yeah, the car was a handful tonight. Like, real handful. So
making contact with
coming
you.
home with
three wide
with
or...
3rd, it's pretty good.
Yeah, talk about the race there. Obviously, a little bit different what we've had in the last couple of weeks. Went to Nashville, had a little bit of a caution fest, and of course, last week at Pocono, we come to Richmond tonight. Everybody thought, well, probably this is going to be another one, but only 2 cautions.
Yeah, the caution count was actually very surprising. You know, with the car being a handful, we would have thought that we would have had a little bit more incidents, you know, but everyone kept their P's and Q's, and I think there was just I think one caution for the big incident there on the start of the race, and then it looked like someone just made a mistake. I don't know. I don't know what happened with the second one, but we just caught the caution at the right time, Chris, with not pitting there. We were actually just about to come to pit road, so that helped us tremendously.
Yeah, obviously a great night for you points wise, and obviously these finishes now starting to kind of rack up. 13th in points here, looking pretty good in making the playoffs, and that's got to be another thing that makes you feel pretty good.
What's the saying, Chris? I think we're getting hot at the right moment again.
Yes, I would say so. Getting hot here mid-season, and you know what, showing that you don't have to be on a super speedway to do it.
Yeah, I felt like, Chris, you know, I felt like I have the speed at these other tracks. It's just, you know, getting caught up in other guys' mess, and just the bad luck is what really, I guess, held me back and holds me back, and what shows what I actually can do on these intermediate and short tracks and everything. But hey, we're figuring it out. You know, I'm still learning every day, you know, with some help, and looks like it's paying off.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job finishing third. Send some shout outs to whoever you like to, bud.
Well, I got to thank the guys at Talking Giants for the sponsorship, John Boy Media, the fans that watch. I want to thank NC811, Call Before You Dig, for the sponsorship for the series, Sim500, and you, Chris, for doing the sponsorship, the broadcast.
Absolutely, man. Well, it's been fun, and congratulations on another top 3 run, and we shall see you later on this week sometime.
10-4. We'll see you again.
Absolutely. That is Anthony Calantoni. Good third place finish for him here this evening at the Richmond Raceway. And finishing, let's see if I can get him. He is not here. Oh, Brian has done a great job of, he made the comment a couple weeks ago, like, I don't want to finish in third. I don't want to talk to the broadcaster, yada, yada, yada. And, I have not seen him in Discord since. So, all right, let's make up for it. Let's get, how about the boss man who finished fourth here? Let's bring him up here and, let's find out who really drove this car here this evening and who really did the pit strategies, because Jatina finishes fourth in the race tonight.
Yeah, is this a sympathy interview? I didn't know if you. I was racing Anthony hard because I wanted to get up here for the sponsors in the car, and man, just to do it in this group. So, anyways, man, it was a good race.
It was a good race, and the one thing I guess you can kind of say is you can thank Mr. Macklin for apparently not wanting to. Yeah, I heard him once, I think, say, "I don't like interviews." He's, I guess, Marshawn Lynch like. So here you are. You get your fourth place finish. The one thing I was thinking just now, and I said it kind of with about 30 to go, I said, hey, the one thing Joey doesn't have to worry about tonight the rest of the way is pit stops.
Yeah, that's a sore subject, but I mean, yeah, luckily we were kind of on the fence about what we were going to do there, and everybody was pitting, and one of my teammates, Derek Myers, we were discussing it back and forth, and we were actually fixing to come in, and the caution came out like 2 laps later, so it saved us. And then I guess on the restart there, when the wave around cars, there's so many of them, they didn't get caught back up, and we didn't know much, what was going on back there. It was kind of late when they let us know the green flag was already out, or else we could have done something with that. But I mean, it gave me a chance to take a breath. Tonight was really difficult, just really tough off the corner, and but man, I don't know. It's terrible in practice, and luckily I got great teammates. They all shared a little bit of information. I made some changes. Joe Hudson helped me with my rumblers on the pedals here. I think those did phenomenal tonight. So, man, I tell you, this might be my best ever run on Monday night, and it is. I'm stoked, man.
Well, you did a great job here tonight, man, and obviously a great league race. I know. Let's put the owner hat on for a second. The last couple weeks have been a little struggle. But two cautions on a track tonight where a lot of people were sliding.
Yeah, normally the tougher tracks, our guys here, they start racing the track and
right.
not each other. So when you can get to those type situations, I think last year or maybe the year before, we went caution free here at Richmond, then at Talladega, believe it or not. I think it was 3 races in a row we went caution free on Monday night with this car. So I think Iowa was in there too. So it was Iowa, Richmond, Talladega. So that was a feat in itself to go caution free 3 races in a row.
Well, great job tonight, man. Send some shout outs.
Yeah, man. Just to all of our members of Sim500, we appreciate everybody out there that continues to support us. NC811, Stoney Benefield, and everybody that put that on for us and came to us. Year 2 with them. We hope it'll be year 3. We've got some great viewership out there because of the products you're putting on, Chris. I actually was coming home last night from the beach, and I put my phone up and I watched the broadcast for the NC811 Grand National Series. And man, I tell you, you're better than what you hear on Sunday for sure. So I enjoyed the ride home, and man, what an action-packed race. I think it was 5 wide to the win last night, and that's 2 in a row now for Scott Simley. So A.W. Chesterton, if you don't know what that is, you work out in a pipe mill, steel mill, chemical plants, the best mechanical steel out there. Also our coatings, packing, so much more out there. It's a family-owned company since 1905. Proud to have them on the race car and proud to represent them out in the work field. Other than that, man, Trans Service Logistics, Glenn Campbell, all he does, and of course our Sim500 Mafia. Those guys are badass, man. So, and you again, thank you. Good night.
Absolutely, you too, buddy. Be safe. As Joey Jatina finishes in the 4th position here tonight, great job on his part and makes an exit stage right, as he always does. So that was nice of him to say that. I appreciate that comment. As I do my best. That's all I can say. I do my best. All right. Well, all of a sudden he's become the hottest driver on the circuit. Scott Simley goes to victory lane here tonight, man. You definitely pulled it off. You waited until about 20 to go, and you put the throttle down and kind of stretched it out there on Macklin, and here you are, 12th winner on the Cup Series season in that 12 car.
Yeah, that was great. It feels good. You know, I don't think it has anything to do with winning last night, but obviously it doesn't hurt. I just I've always liked this track. I just haven't had a lot of luck. A lot of times I really like it and it feels good to me, and then you get caught up in something, or cautions don't fall your way, where you pit and people don't, and just get unlucky that way. But it worked out tonight. That clean air really, though, in this car really means something. I could tell when I started catching that lap traffic. It just handled different. I just would want to push a little more going in. It was a little more loose coming off, and so clean air is big too. But can't always get that if you're not running up front. And there's a lot of tough guys in this series, so it's just good to get a win.
Also noticed that it seemed like the second lane just was not in existence tonight.
No, it really wasn't. I don't know if you could. I like entering high and arcing it down there and hugging that bottom around there, and yeah, it was working good tonight.
Well, obviously it worked out for you going to victory lane. You got that caution, which you really, it helped you, but you drove legitimately up to the front and took that lead in the long run. So obviously you earned this win. Not saying that a pit road win is not a legit win, but in this case you legit went up there, made the passes for the second, for the lead, and went out and won this race. And I know that's got to feel pretty good and build some confidence for you as we get later on into the season.
Yeah, it did. The other thing that was weird from on that first run, I wasn't sure either if I was reeling them in or if it was turning into a fuel mileage thing. It was really close on fuel, so I wasn't quite sure if those guys, or at least Pedro, if he was backing off to just make sure of making it on the one stop, which really would have been really hairy to go that far on a set of tires. It was doable, but man, I don't know if I would have really wanted to, but I was just afraid of that caution coming out too, so I was going to give it everything I got if it did go that way, but then the caution fell and then that was eliminated. So yeah.
Well, great job tonight, man, and back-to-back wins, sweep the week here Sunday and Monday, and get ready for Michigan next week. And I remember once a race that you won there that I put together. But great job tonight, and send some shout-outs whoever you like to.
Yeah, again, Chris, you do an awesome job with the broadcast, and Joey and the admins again. I know I repeat, but it takes all those guys to put this thing together. Friends and family, if they're out there watching, hopefully they enjoyed the race. I don't know if it was entertaining or a lot of racing going on. I set my sights once I was going. I didn't look back, and that obviously helps too, not to have somebody coming up on you and worrying about it. So I just set sail and took off, and it worked out. But yeah, friends and family, and that's about it.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and go celebrate.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy. Scott Simley, winner tonight here at Richmond, as he gets a win at Atlanta Sunday night, and then Richmond here on Monday night. Fantastic race here, and great job by the guys. As Joey said, and this kind of goes back to a comment I've talked to Kevin about. Of course, Kevin wasn't here tonight as he had some personal stuff he had to take care of. But the one thing I've always caught about not only this series, but racing in general and iRacing, and to me it absolutely does not make sense, is you get a setup on a car that almost feels undrivable, and yet the guys go out there and race, and it turns into an actual good race where the drivers go out with a setup that's drivable and good, and it turns into a wreck fest. I don't know if that's because maybe it's more inviting or whatever, but it just seems like backwards to me. And tonight you saw that with a setup that, first 5 laps were very sketchy, and even after that was very loose off and that kind of thing, and yet it turned into a fantastic race here tonight. So great job, Scott Simley. Great job by all the 29 drivers that started this race here tonight. Hey, tomorrow night, if you're a part of the Sim500 family, FYI, there is a GOAT series that is starting up. That is the super late models. Now, it's not super late models on a short track. It's a special type of super late models. Super speedway, super late model action. If you've never seen these cars race at tracks like Michigan or Daytona or Talladega, you think the ARCA car is fun? These super late models are awesome. They will run 195 mile an hour in a draft up the straightaways and stuff here. So if you're a part of Sim500, you can be a part of it. If not, hit up Joey Jatina. Go to sim500.com and get information, get signed up, and see you tomorrow night. Look at it like that. So also that and the GOAT Cup Series coming here on Thursday nights. It's going to be mimicking the Cup schedule you see right now. And thank you, Scott, Charles, and Joey for the update. It's actually a recruitment race tomorrow night, so come join them. I thought I saw, was it Talladega you guys are doing tomorrow night, Charles? I saw in the Tuesday. Put it like this: if I didn't have a broadcast tomorrow night, I would be doing this myself. It is, looking at it, Michigan. Ironically, Michigan. If you didn't get a chance to, a couple of years ago, 2020, when COVID hit, Fox actually did a fun race of super late models at Michigan. And in that race, if I remember correctly, Bobby Labonte won by like a nose. It was like a photo finish, and it looked like a Daytona race in the pack. So make sure you go, and if you want to be a part of that recruitment race, go check it out. I'm sure it'll be in the hosted section there. Look for Charles Van Schaik's name there. So, all right, I'm out. I'm going to stop rambling now and go on. So appreciate Sim500, NC811.org. Make sure you call before you dig. And a big shout out to Scott Simley, who gets another win here tonight at the Richmond Raceway. So congratulations to him. And always remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.